Plaintiff Tracy Weingart says she and the defendant are both musicians who first met at a bar. Tracy claims the two of them started dating, and she even joined his band. But the two of them broke up after the defendant became addicted to heroin. Tracy's suing her ex for unpaid loans, rent, and the cost of several recording sessions. Defendant Matt McNulty, also known as Matt McVader, says Tracy also has a reputation for being a drunk, and she's known around town as Tracy Trouble. Matt admits that he was a heroin addict and says Tracy was very supportive during his recovery, but he doesn't remember agreeing to repay her for anything because he was high most of their relationship.
All rise. This court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Greg Mathis presiding. You may now be seated.
Prove your case.
Just to give you a little history, we're both musicians in a band called The Invaders. I play bass guitar, he plays guitar, main songwriter. We met.
You all recorded any CDs?
Actually, we just finished mastering, and I brought you and Doyle a copy each.
Okay.
So.
What style of music is it? Rock, hard rock?
It's like garage rock, surf, with a hint of rockabilly.
Have you all had any distribution from a major label?
We have some label interests that we're sending out to right now. Those are like fresh off the mastering floor, so the album will be called Sneak Out.
All right.
I don't even have a copy, by the way.
You don't have a copy?
No, so.
That's because somebody fell downstairs and broke 2 bones in his legs and couldn't make it to the mastering session. Anyway.
So he's not on this?
Oh, he's on it.
Then why would you give him a copy?
I'll get him a copy in due time. Don't worry, he'll get his copy.
Is that part of the lawsuit today?
No.
Get this man his copy.
Oh, come on, that's for you.
Give another one. I'll make it.
No, I want Doyle to keep his too.
He can listen with me.
Don't worry, we have other bandmates. Right, they will make him
get
copies.
This man a copy. Go ahead, man.
Okay.
Background you were giving.
I met Matt in April of 2006. I was having brunch with some girlfriends at a bar called the Empty Bottle. So, we went next door afterwards, and he's sitting at the bar by himself with a guitar, and he looks over at me and he says hi. We start a conversation. I was very attracted to him. And he had told me that he was waiting to have band practice, that he was starting a band called The Invaders. And I said, oh, great, that sounds awesome. And until the conversation went on and I realized how inebriated he was, and my friends and I were just making fun of him, and we were not laughing with him, we were laughing at him. He hit on me, then he proceeded to hit on my friends who were lesbians. And then we left the bar. And then I didn't see him and, didn't think I was going to run into him again. So I was at a bar called the Continental a week later, and I ran into him, and he was sitting at the bar. There was an open stool next to him, and I'd had quite a lot to drink in the studio. So I found him particularly attractive that night, and we just...
They look a lot better with a few shots. Huh?
Yeah. We immediately started making out, and then, we spent Easter together in bed at his place. And that's how it all started. And then we dated for 6 months. We broke up. We dated again, broke up.
Why were you all breaking up so much?
Because he's such a screw up.
How so?
Well, he gets really wasted when he drinks, and he just turns into this Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. And then I got to take care of him, and I don't want to...
What does he do when he's drunk?
He slurs, he curses,
After how many drinks?
It's really entertaining and cute for a while.
After how many drinks?
I don't know, I don't keep track of how many
15
drinks.
15 or 20, come on.
15 or 20 drinks?
Give me a break.
Sir, you can drink 15 or 20 drinks in one day or evening?
Yeah, on occasion.
Yeah, he's a rock star, whatever, fit the cliche.
I didn't know they could do that.
Yeah, anyway,
Your Honor, if I might interject, though, I really want to say, though, that, she's, saying all these things about me, but I do have to say that I'd heard of Tracy. Her nickname is Tracy Trouble, and I'd heard all about her around town. I knew she was a musician, and she has a reputation herself. She gets crazy. I've gone to liquor stores with her where she just runs into, racks of liquor, and she's really loud and obnoxious. It's, we're just a rock and roll couple.
You were both drunk?
Exactly, yes.
Both drunk? Okay.
Matt McVader is way worse than I will ever be.
Okay.
And he took it to a
But
whole...
you are a drunk.
I actually can function in the world, unlike him. I mean, the thing is that he graduated to hard drugs and was doing hard drugs behind my back while we were dating.
What type, if you don't mind?
Dope.
It's a big one.
Obviously, you don't want to tell us what type of dope.
Yeah. Well,
because that's a general statement.
Well, it's also another name for heroin.
Okay, gotcha.
So, but, it got to the point where it got really bad and, he came to me asking for help, to ask him to check him into rehab.
What year was this?
This was recently. This was this year, I believe, in around like March.
Good, but he came to you for help.
Yeah,
No
he came
one
to me
had
for
to
help.
push him.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
And I was very proud of him. I took him to treatment and, he came out of there. He had very horrible insurance. So they kicked him out only after 6 days of being in there, where he should have been in there for like 3 weeks or whatever. And so, whatever, I let him like stay with me just so he could be away from the bad
Did he
people.
go to NA meetings?
He went to meetings.
Okay.
And, he was doing really well. And then, everything's coming along. We start recording this album. What happens, later on is he goes out drinking all night, doesn't show up at work
He
the
began
next
drinking
day.
again.
Yeah.
And obviously he had a relapse back onto heroin.
No, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
All right.
Which I'm very happy about, but the drinking caused him to lose his job. And then, he had promised me through the course of like getting paid through his next pay periods and whatnot.
Promise you what?
He promised he'd pay me back for the studio costs. I'd been covering.
How much was that?
It was $213, his portion of it.
Okay. What about
also,
the rent?
Rent from the practice space for 4 months. I had been covering him. His portion of it was $40 a month. When he got out of rehab, I took him grocery shopping. He had absolutely no money. He promised to pay me that back. I got his guitar set up, $100 for the guitar setup, and $123 for groceries, which he promised to pay me back and never did.
Sir, what do you say to this?
Well, Your Honor, I would like to say that much of what she says is true. I did go to rehab. I confided in Tracy. I love her to death. She's talented. She would not be in my band if I didn't feel that way. Like she said, she was very supportive when I was in rehab. She came and visited me as much as she could. When I got out, she let me stay at her place. I took an extra week off work to find another job because my job was literally hell, which I think, caused a lot of my stress. It got me into the harder drugs. But within a week,
You're not using hard drugs anymore?
No. Aside from the pain pills from my accident. But,
Oh, okay. All right.
But
Are you on the pain pills now?
yeah.
Okay. No, really. I've been around enough to know when someone is affected by something.
That obvious? Oh, sorry.
Right. Go ahead.
A week after, spending a week with her after rehab, she did buy me groceries. But I looked at it as more if she was kind of just like shoving me aside. Like she took me to her house, abandoned me there.
Shoving you aside if she moved you in and bought you groceries?
Because it was basically her way of, getting rid of me so she could go out and do her thing. She was supposedly supportive, but she was going out and partying, and she'd call me
she'd
up.
buy you your favorite foods so you could sit there and gorge while she ran out.
Judge Mathis,
That's a good one.
do you see what I have to deal with?
No, listen, she would call me up at like 3 a.m, drunk, doing whatever she was doing, while I'm seriously like trying to, better myself and sober up. And she'd be all drunk. And, this went on for a good week. I didn't see her for, at least a few weeks. And then.
Okay. What about the loans and the recording session and the rent and groceries? Did you agree to pay any of these?
Well, that's kind of hard to say. I mean, like I said, our relationship did involve a lot of drinking and drugs. So it was a very foggy time. Since I've known her, it's true. Since I've known her, she's always been the one who makes a lot more money. When I first met her, she was talking about taking me to the Bahamas and paying for all these things. And it was always just kind of part of the
Is that true, ma'am?
I did offer to go on a trip with him, which he denied.
You were
because
going to pay for?
that I was going to pay for.
Okay.
That was
Did
when
you
we
have
first
an
started
agreement
dating.
that he would pay for groceries, guitar?
He told me, I'm sorry to interrupt.
Was there?
Yeah, he said that he would pay me back. And this was like, we were not dating. He actually like.
Oh, you weren't dating at that time.
We weren't dating, no, and we're still not dating.
But I'm
I never know when we're dating.
I would be
Your Honor, I love this woman to death, and I have the utmost respect for her. But
it's back and forth,
yeah,
up and down,
I never know half the time.
sideways, and all around.
People ask me, and I'm like, I don't know what to do.
I mean, it would be one thing, but you don't know his history. He has a history of being homeless, sleeping on people's couches for like years. He wrote a song called Couch Surfing about it.
This is true.
And you say he agreed to pay, and he says he doesn't remember.
Yeah, which is
You
typical.
were on harder drugs than she. So I'm going to believe her because she's confident and very precise, and you don't remember because and you were higher than she was. So
One thing, Judge, I'd also like to bring to the table is the fact that I am the Invaders. I mean, I wrote these songs before I even moved to Chicago. This band started in Columbus, Ohio, with a great group of guys, and I wrote every song on there.
Okay.
And I'm glad she's a part of it. I have utmost respect for every musician in my band. And even though I wrote all the songs, I'm splitting everything down the middle, 50-50. And
see
she's
how
gonna,
nice he is, and you won't even give him a copy. Give him his copy. I'll make one of his.
Please don't.
I'll make a copy from Doyle.
All right. You know what? He acts like I didn't do anything for him. I got him the best lead guitarist in this town, who I have personal
And he still
witness
can't hear it
testimony
because
from.
you won't give him a copy.
He will get his
He don't
copy.
even know how it sounds. $596 for you. Copy of your CD.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Judge Mathis. I keep falling for him, but I don't know if I can keep falling anymore.
I love this girl to death. I'm willing to do anything for her.